This is a live play campaign of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, a powered by the Apocalypse game. I will be playing the role of Dietrich Steiner, who uses he/him pronouns, and my name is Gavin.
My name is Sorel, and I use she/her pronouns, and I will be playing the role of Verdant, who also uses she/her pronouns.
My name is Cassandra. I'll be playing Kayla Swift, she/her pronouns.
Hi, everyone. I am Richard, and I will be playing Dane Hopkins, they, them pronoun.
Is it my turn already?
Oh, yes.
You guys got to tell me this.
No, but watching you struggle is so entertaining.
Classic us. Oh.
Hey, I'm Bear, and I am your game master. We have now fancy graphics. Hopefully you can see that. If not, my apologies. And I'm going to cry because I spent hours trying to figure out how all that stuff works. But we're back for another episode of Gaia Squadron Roll Out. This is episode 5, unless I've done my math entirely wrong.
It's about right.
Yeah, and it's going to be close enough. When last we met, where did we leave off, folks?
Well, the Gaia Squadron went to invade ground-based Sigma in somewhere in the hinterlands of Germany, which is a Sputnik Corporation research facility where they were holding the black box from Commander Dietrich's mech that was destroyed in a battle against the Gaia Squadron, and which contained information that showed that the Gaia Squadron was using magic to power our bullshit. We snuck into the lab with the help of some totally not bad guy ghosts, and found that the black box was in the possession of Ilyana Sputnik, daughter of the president of the Sputnik Corporation and chief of their R&D department. We had a bit of a scuffle with her where we tried to get it peacefully, and that didn't work, and she managed to stall us long enough for Dietrich and a whole bunch of Sputnik goons to arrive. More conversation was attempted to be had, and a firearm was accidentally discharged, leading to a ridiculous amount of crossfire through the hallway we were all stuck in. Verdant managed to call in the spirits for help once again to teleport us out of there, and accidentally left Dane behind, instead bringing their twin sister Helga to our new destination, which was the subway tunnels in Boston. So we leave off with Dane having barely managed to escape and in the wilderness in Germany by himself, while Verdant and Kayla and Helga are kind of in a bit of a standoff in the tunnels. And Dietrich, I believe, is pursuing Dane.
So, thank you, Sorel, for having such a thorough recap for us, please mark an experience. If other folks have recap stuff to add next week, you might get experience too. Yeah, I see that face.
Actually, there were fireworks last episode.
Hey, boss! I think we got the fireworks out finally.
There are snakes over there.
So, we're going to start tonight's episode off with Dietrich. Dietrich. You and Ileana are recovering from the random firing. Sorrel, your video went dead. So, for those of you watching, when Sorrel's video went dead, everything probably got screwed up and went in different places, and our apologies for that. We got to figure out a better way to do this. Yeah, but we're working with the technology I have available to me. So, Dietrich.
Yes.
Yep.
Sputnik.
Screw everything up.
Yeah. Dietrich, Sputnik is definitely frazzled. Frazzled is a better word. Yes, frazzled. She's getting to her feet and confirming that she has all body parts in place.
Are you all right? You've been attacked.
They took the box, Steiner. We have to get it back.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to get that box back, come hell or high water. But first, we have to make sure that you're safe. So, you there. And I'm pointing to one of the guardsmen that had been part of the free-for-all bullet haze that is still on their feet.
Yes, boss.
You're to take Miss Sputnik to the infirmary. She used to be checked for any damage. If there's a hair on her head that is harmed, it will come out of your paycheck.
I'm all right. It's okay. I've been through worse.
Well, hopefully that's not the adrenaline speaking. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go chase down a power-armored terrorist who has taken our valuable technology.
On the plus side, I do not believe they have their armor anymore. And Ileana points to bits of molten slag by the door. Not by the door, I mean the hole in the wall that had been blasted.
And it seems that we finally have karma on our side.
Dane. You are...
Yo, homies, what's up?
You are in the woods, running for your life. You hear people shouting, guns firing.
Oh, so many conditions. My God. Okay. I am going to make my way to the train tracks that are running through the woods in hopes that the bullet train is on its way. I am, as I'm going, keeping my helmet. The rest of my armor is slag. I take my sword, black box, and as is on every Sputnik suit of armor, there is a utility belt to take in circumstances such as these. And I am booking it to that train track to get the hell out of here.
Okay, it sounds good. Now, there are guards searching for you everywhere. I believe your path through the woods to catch up to the train is going to require you to roll to avoid disaster? Defy disaster, that's the word. Defy disaster.
Question for you.
Yes.
Because I'm leaving something important behind, can I clear a condition? Because Dane doesn't know what they are going to do sans armor.
I will allow it.
All right. Roll to defy disaster. Mm-hmm.
So this sounds like. Well, what do you think this is for a roll?
I would say it's integrity. It is focus on a goal in surpassing whatever rational fears might be coming right now. And it is just the dedication to the mission of, I need to get the fuck out of here.
I like that. So you're going to tuck that black box under your arm, and you know that everything's not going your way, but you have to get the job done.
Is Dietrich in this scene?
Dietrich is not yet in this scene.
Yeah, you can't weaponize that.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Going at this at a -2. Well, that's a 6 on the dice. And my spirit's a 2. So in total, that's a 6 because of that -2 from a condition.
Now, do you happen to have any, I don't know, strings on Sputnik goons? I think actually a string on Dietrich might work here as well.
That's a big old goose egg on that one, because I haven't done anything to gain strings back on people.
Okay.
But you know what I do get to do? I get to mark an experience points for failure.
Yes, you do. So, you get to the train tracks just in time to see the bullet train pass by.
I stand there. I wistfully look at it. And I think to myself how amazing it would be to be sitting inside that train and get lost and distracted a little bit as it flies right past me. I get lost in some escapism, hopefully, and I'm able to clear the condition that allows me to not take a -2 to defy disaster.
Okay. You are sitting there, dreaming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the guards find you.
Yep. Can I clear that condition of hopelessness?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Perfect. This is rough.
And here they are. They raise their guns. Freeze! Drop the weapon! Drop the box! Drop the weapon and the box!
I keep the box between me and them.
The box, then the weapon. Yeah, they're surrounding you and moving to try to get at you from all directions.
I have a question for you, Bear.
Yes.
Since joining the Gaia Squadron, am I still empowered by what I was touched with, or was it just simply my armor that was empowered?
That is a interesting question, and that's not one I can answer for you.
Okay. So I've been...
I will say, if you were to spontaneously generate something, it would probably have to be a last resort. And it doesn't quite feel like Sputnik goons are going to push you to a last resort.
Fair enough. I've done some thinking during the week. If we could cut to somebody else while I peruse what I can spend my experience on, like maybe buy into another playbook, that would be fantastic.
We will look into things, and we will be back with you in just a second.
Perfect.
Kayla, Verdant, you are standing with the mountainous woman, Helga. She looks at the both of you. and seems confused by your new location. There's a busker over in the corner. Next to him is somebody playing drums on empty buckets. Where is it in Boston you were planning on going?
The closest green line stop to the location of my friend in weird places, Montague.
So, you're streamlining. You are beelining it straight towards Montague's place.
Yeah.
Okay, you jump on the green line. Helga tries.
She doesn't live like she lives in the tunnels. Like,
I see. She lives in the tunnels, not. So as soon as the green line passes by, you jump down and start running.
I'm gonna look at the two of them and be like, welcome to Boston. We're not safe here. Let's head to my friend's place and we will talk there. Okay?
And I should be trusting you?
I just showed the ability to teleport you across the world. And I'm not currently hostile to you. Beyond that, it's your call.
She growls a little bit, but follows along.
Okay. I jump down onto the tracks and head into the tunnels. And it starts getting darker as I take us into a service tunnel off to the side that is only intermittently lit. And then come to a door along the side of the tunnel that is chained shut and has a big no entry sign on it. I look around and push on the door, and the chains are just like attached to the door and not actually chaining it shut. And it opens. Come on. And I step into a pitch black area beyond that. No light at all. Just follow the sound of my voice and footsteps. We're going to have to cross through an area that's not lit up, and we can't put any lights on.
What do you mean?
If we shine any light in this room, the occupants will know that we're here. And might not be friendly.
You can hear her put her flashlight away.
Okay. Kayla, with me?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Keep in pace.
I walk down a set of metal stairs and begin making my way across what sounds like catwalks in a fairly large open area, making sure to make enough noise that my people following me know where I'm going, know where I am. And it's very clear to the people watching that or listening, that I've done this a number of times and I know exactly where I'm going. There's no hesitation in my steps or bearing. And assuming nobody puts a light on before we get to the other side of the room.
Kayla, I will give you an experience point if you turn on your light.
Ooh. Kayla would be very tempted to turn on her light out of curiosity. However, I respect Verdant enough to follow directions here.
Thank you. Okay, there's a stairs back up here. Be careful. And I proceed up the stairs. and feel on the wall till I find the door and open this next door.
And beyond the door, what do we find?
It is a tremendous change from what you're expecting to find. It looks like an old school, like 1930s era movie theater. There isn't like rows and rows of seats. There's only like 20 spots in the theater to sit, and the chairs have been restored with like detritus found probably from the streets. But the projector screen is there and functional, and the curtains, though moth-worn and moth-eaten and very faded, are still hanging. And there's currently some sort of a movie playing, which looks like a lower budget remake of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, with like clearly cardboard sets and that kind of level of trash movie. And in the center row of the front seats is an individual who takes up like 3 or 4 of the seats at once. And she seems to be it is backlit by the projector, so not really able to be made out shape-wise, but you can definitely see the massive, like 50-gallon drum sized tub of popcorn in front of it. I turn to the other two. Don't freak out. She's a little bit conscious of her appearance. Okay?
Who exactly is this?
Monty, I'm back and I've brought some new friends. And well, I'm not going to RP her because it's the Dungeon Master's job to do that, but she definitely will hear that and probably turn around. And she's a imagine the Pokemon Tangela, but like 20 feet across. Just this writhing ball mass of tentacles with 2 like amethyst glowing eyes deep in the center of the mass. And she's very Bostonian otherwise.
She lumbers towards the party. And the ground trembles beneath your feet as she approaches. The tendrils writhe and reach out. And she leans down. What the fuck do you want, kid? The socks are on in half an hour.
Listen, I needed a place to come real quick, and I knew yours was the best place. You know?
So you're gonna come here and get in the way of my fucking game? You know
Monty,
how I am with my...
You
What?
you don't care about the Sox.
Yeah, but they're playing the Yankees, and fuck the Yankees.
Ooh, are they? Well, in that case, I came to watch with you because you have the best seat, rather than except for being in the stadium, and it's too sunny out there. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Pull up a chair. I'm using these ones.
this is Kayla. This is Helga. And this is Montague. Monty.
Nice to meet you, Monty. Kayla's gonna stick her hand out. Verdant's told me so much about you and your wonderful theater.
You can feel the glare that goes towards Verdant. Kid can't keep a feckin' secret.
I just kind of look at Kayla with this like wounded expression, like,
All only good things. If it's helpful.
And she begins lumbering her way back towards her seats. Why are we here? What is so dangerous in the streets of Boston that we have to climb into sewer grates with lovely woman?
I'm going to say a bunch of things that are probably not going to make a lot of sense to you, but let me get the explanation out and then you can ask questions. Okay?
Yeah.
So, I kind of abused the good favor of She Who Slithers Between during the last couple of hours, and she's likely to come knocking at some point or another to call those favors due. And I think my time is better served at the moment not listening to her whims. And the only place that I know of that is safe is here at Monty's, because Monty is not on good terms with her mother, and they have a mutual non-aggression type thing. So as long as I'm here, I won't be targeted. And since you two also benefited from She Who Lives Between by getting teleported here, you might also be on her list. Sorry.
In the future, warning, maybe.
I didn't have the time because we were getting shot at.
And why am I listening to you? Why aren't I just dragging you in? You assaulted Sputnik Corporation secret base.
I mean, first of all, how secret could it have been if a group of people calling themselves the Gaia Squadron was able to get in? Second, we are trying to stop Sputnik from the campaign of destruction that they're raging against the Earth. And a campaign which you've been personally caught up in.
You're terrorists. You're telling me that I should be working with terrorists? No.
I didn't say that. What I said is you shouldn't. What I mean is that you shouldn't be working with Sputnik because they're not good people. They're not good for this planet, and they're the reason your family was killed.
I feel like you are trying to confuse my head.
I'm not. You
You
just
stop talking.
just now.
You stop talking, little one. You look like you are not so good with words. You will be telling me what's going on.
First, I'll have you know, I'm pretty good with words sometimes. That's just insulting.
No, what's insulting is being dragged to hidden theater with two enemies of state.
Enemies of state is subjective. We're revolutionaries. We see a better future. Sputnik
Revolutionary is
would not
by
give any of that.
definition enemy of state.
If the state's immoral, though, is it a bad thing to be a revolutionary?
Who says state immoral? I think blowing up people and killing them is immoral.
And is not destroying the literal earth that we depend on to survive also immoral, and thus killing uncountable people?
Earth is still here. Those people you kill, they're not still here.
Its resources will not last indefinitely.
And that is why we working on space programs.
I think there's a better way to do it, perhaps with less oppression and destruction and more equity.
You just keep talking and talking.
Yes, I will talk forever. So we just need a safe place to stay for now. That's all.
Why am I here? I have soaps to watch. No, not from you little one.
I mean, you know what's stopping you from watching the Sox? Go watch them. We'll just be chilling here. And then we'll be out of your hair as soon as we can be. You want to see us again? Unless you want to. And then I'll, wink.
Roll to entice.
Oh, I have a -2 to entice. So.
Somewhere off in the woods, Dane gets the feeling that the woman that Dane is smitten with is about to hit on their sister.
Who is the woman that Verdant is smitten with?
That is also true.
I rolled a 4. I have +0 and -2.
So you've got a 2.
I got a 2. Yeah.
So you've got a 2.
I got a 2.
2. Okay, so mark an experience point.
Okay.
And this is stupid. And she pushes a button on one of her wrist bracelets. And it begins beeping. Not like beeping. There's like a faint flashing light.
I would just like to point out that there's probably no service this far underground for whatever that is.
These distress
Sorry.
signal.
You told me not to talk.
No, Well, why wouldn't the stress signal work this far underground?
I mean, have you been to Boston before? Signals don't work anyway.
This one is good signal.
Okay. Well,
Look, he's blinking.
I
Blinking shows he's working.
If you had that this whole time, why didn't you press it before?
Because I was being dragged through train tunnels.
I think.
Yes, my accent has changed, but I'm leaning in more to the fact that I am Dane's sister, and this is very different than initial characterization.
I brought you along because I think that you're a good person and that you aren't entirely on board with what Sputnik's doing. And I wanted to have a chance to talk to you without the guards like bearing down on us and being otherwise a problem. Also, you've helped me see that you're right. As I said before, killing people is the wrong way to go about this, and I'm the one who's most guilty of that. And maybe you can tell me what to do. I mean, tell me how to proceed from here. I am very pink faced right now, trying to talk to this very large, very intimidating woman.
I just need 1 second here. Maybe I just wait for help to come for now. And she looks for a chair, none of which are open.
No, there's a second row.
Monty is taking up all of them now.
She's sulking.
Yes. So she pulls over a plastic tub filled with, like one of those plastic storage tubs filled to the brim with milk duds, and sits on the cover, using it as a chair. Back to Dane.
I just want to say that I keep picturing strewn about Dunkin' Donuts paraphernalia, like just
everywhere,
discarded cups, like scratched off lotto tickets and stuff. Just
in fact, there is a Dunkin' Donuts in her lair.
No shit.
There's always one in eyesight anywhere through Boston. You just can't get away from it.
You're 100% right. Those of you who do not know Boston, this is a fact. You turn around, there's one behind you. You look before you, there's another Dunkin' Donuts. They're right there.
I used to live in a place where there were 3 different Dunkin' Donuts at one intersection.
Oh, wow.
Pretty crazy. Anyway. What do you got?
Okay, so I took a move out of a different playbook. I am taking a move called Guidance from Above from the Chosen playbook. When you petition Superior for guidance, they give you instructions and useful information. Mark XP or clear a condition if you do as commanded. They gain a string on you if you do otherwise. I, fully believing in the mission of my team and Gaia Squadron, I do not put down my sword. I do not put down the black box. But what I do in this moment of helplessness is I reach to the spiritual connection of Gaia and ask for guidance in what I should be doing. I do not want to surrender, but I also do not want my last days to be here.
You do receive a message from your superior. There is only one superior in your organization. And that is the Earth itself.
Yeah.
The black box is important. You can feel that the Earth wants to reclaim it. But it is also angry at those who would dare take it and wants them struck down.
This is very much in line with who Dane is. When Dane joined, Dane felt a strong and deep connection to areas of molten rock, volcanoes, lava flows, places like Iceland, Hawaii, where there's any kind of geothermal activity. So to be reborn and strengthened by flame and fire seems appropriate. So holding the black box in one hand, Dane will shoulder their sword in the other. And because they are surrounded, they will do the Legend of Zelda Hi-ya! And hopefully slice the throats of all that are around.
Roll to fight.
All right, here we go. No -2 on that one anymore, thank goodness. That's a 6 and a 2, and my daring is 2, so that's an 8.
Is your math correct?
That's a 10. Sorry, no, my math is wrong. Math.
Okay. So, when you roll a 10, you get to choose 3 options off the list.
Ooh. Hold on. Fight. I'm trying. What page is the list? I'm so sorry.
So,
I should have.
You don't even need to do that. I'll just read them to you.
Okay.
Flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition. Create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Or take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position.
I'm going to take a superior position. They flinch away, and I take this opportunity to bolt.
Okay. You do get to choose 2 more.
They're going to take the frightened condition.
Sounds good.
And I'm going to gain a string on Sputnik Goons. Or was that not on the list?
That was on the list.
Okay, cool. Strings are good.
Now, they get to inflict one on you.
Boo.
And that one is to create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction.
Dietrich.
Dietrich, how do you arrive on scene?
How did I know?
From the one direction that most people tend not to look. From above.
They typically also don't listen to them. I'm sorry.
You'll get yours. But I had left the perimeter by holding on to one of the Sputnik flying drones and having it be piloted near where any of the troops could have potentially sighted our rampant terrorist. And was waiting for just the opportune moment to drop in a surprise, making a, shall we say, dramatic entrance coming in from above. And I happen to have a move called the main attraction, which is when I make a dramatic entrance to roll plus grace. Something I should have done twice already, but, I'm learning. Oh, that's great. A 3 and a 1 plus makes a 4. Plus my grace now of 2 only brings it up to a 6. Making that a failure and causing me to level up.
Okay. I was going to see if you wanted to spend a string on Dane to do that, but...
No. That's fun and all, but...
So, what does this dramatic entry look like?
It would have been a downward swipe with what seems to be this kind of glowing blue, almost holographic, or hologram-like blade extending out from Dietrich's wristwatch, which would have been a perhaps frightening or string-taking entrance. But that doesn't get to happen.
No,
as
the
I
blade...
make my entrance.
The blade does come out, but... Dane saw it coming. Their sword comes up and blocks your energy blade before it connects. There's a explosion, and your ambush is now turned into a standoff.
I believe you've been given your order to drop your weapon and the black box. Do I take to assume that you are continuing to resist your arrest?
Last I checked, I no longer like Sputnik boots. Fuck off.
Also, last I checked, you were responsible for the theft of Sputnik property. It appears I now have to add the destruction of Sputnik property to your list of crimes.
And last I checked, with the spirit of the earth, you're a murderer in everybody that you associate yourself with, especially your leader. You can change your ways, or you can have out with me now, coward.
We are going to move on from that scene to give folks a minute to think and stew. Back to the movie theater. Helga's sitting, arms crossed over her chest, tapping her foot impatiently. By this point, the Red Sox are playing. It's the third inning. There's already been one brawl, and the score is 2-0 Yankees. You jinxing the game, kid. And she half-heartedly throws an empty beer can in your direction.
Hey, I'm sorry. I don't think this is my fault, though.
Verdant, real quick. Where is Dane? Why is Dane not here? And explain to me this.
Let's go get some coffee from the Dunkin' Donuts right here.
It's very convenient, yes.
So I lead Kayla over to the other side and pause before I get up to the counter so that the overworked teenager behind the counter doesn't think that we're ready to order.
She puts down her rag and waits, smiling, behind the register. Only, it's just the mouth that's smiling. The eyes are very much dead all the way into the center.
One sec. I turn to Kayla. Okay, so I messed up with the teleportation, and I, instead of teleporting Dane, teleported their sister with us because they have very similar body types and they were like right next to each other, and it was all sort of haphazardly chaotic and violent, and I didn't have the time to properly prepare for it. Also, she may have been on my mind at the moment.
I see. So Dane's just stuck with Sputnik? We have to go get them. We can't. Can't we just trade? This is good hostage over here.
I think Sputnik would consider Dane a more important person to be in their control than having Helga back. Also, I can't risk a third jaunt through the other side.
What happens on a third trip?
She who slithers between will definitely come take a look.
You do hear in the background. You're not sure if it's really there, Kayla, but you definitely hear it, Verdant, like the rattling of a snake tail.
And I brought us here because Monty has some of the same abilities to get into places that her mother does. So when the game is over, we can ask Monty.
Hey, get me a regular coffee.
Sure thing, hon. We can ask her if
Make sure they melt the sugar.
Will do. We can ask her if she'd be willing to help us get Dane.
Okay.
If we interrupt her before the game ends. But how are you doing?
Not great. Another.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
There we go. Better now. Not great. Honestly, another failed mission. I'm still quite angry, a little insecure right now, and I don't know. I want our friend Dane back, and I want to get that black box and get something out of this.
Hey, you were wonderful back there. You're the reason we got out at all. You definitely had more reaction to that situation than I did. If it was up to me, I think we'd still be in that hallway.
Verdant, would you please roll to provide emotional support?
Sure. What stat adds to that?
It's heart or spirit, I don't remember.
Well, let us roll.
Oh, it is either heart or spirit. Yeah, your choice.
Excellent. So I rolled a 6. Plus 2 spirit is an 8. Minus 2, because I'm still really guilty feeling, is a 6. But I'm going to spend a string on Kayla. Does that add a 1 or 3?
In this case, it adds 3.
I guess it doesn't matter, because it still doesn't put it at a 10. But that is a 9.
Kayla could spend a string on you to increase that again.
I will do that.
There you go.
Wait, no. I have a +1/4 that I earned during the dinner that I've never used.
Ooh.
I'm going to use that now and move that to a 10. And erase that. Yes, so I got a 10 on emotional support.
Sounds good. So, you, Verdant, can either take a string or choose one from the list. And Kayla, you can choose one from the list.
I am clearing a condition.
Sounds good.
As am I.
Going to clear insecure.
I'm going to get rid of hopeless. I'm still
You both
feeling... What?
Well, I was going to say, you both are just feeling a lot better after talking to each other for a minute here.
Now, let's get some sugary, overpriced caffeine in our systems and watch this game, because we can't do anything else right now. Well, I mean, we could do other things, but it seems a little bit crass to suggest them.
Probably, maybe right now a little bit.
We'll get Dane back and then celebrate.
That kind of sounds like you're rolling to entice there.
Yes.
Yeah, give that a go.
I'm going to use my talk nerdy to me move to roll plus wit instead of plus heart.
Well, were you really talking nerdy there?
We're talking about the game, not like a traditional emotional or romantic type thing.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. But be nerdier next time.
Uh, 8 plus 2 wit is 10.
So, with a 10... Sorry, I'm missing like all of my notes here. So, you get a string on them and they choose one. And that would be get flustered and awkward, promise something they think you want, or give in to desire.
I'm going to. Only in Kayla's mind, she's giving into desire, but I'm not very good at this. So I'm going to wink again, like I did at Helga, the exact same wink. So it's also a bit of get flustered and awkward, however you want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all roleplay anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's definitely very awkward, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like yeah. But her heart's in it, you can tell.
Back to the forest. The Sputnik soldiers are nowhere to be found. You have terrified them. They thought you were helpless without your armor, and you just beat down half a squad with a single swing of your sword. But Dietrich Steiner is not a typical Sputnik soldier. What do you do? And remember, you can just throw fight dice at each other, but there's so many more interesting ways to do this.
This is true.
Such as saying that when I failed my main attraction roll, I leveled up.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to be taking another move from my playbook.
What move is that?
It is the move Fools Rush In. When you vault into a situation without forethought and wind up way over your head. Give someone dangerous to you a string, mark XP, and take +1 forward to defy disaster.
That sounds pretty good. I'll definitely consider that this situation.
Especially since I'm less concerned with dealing mortal blows and far more concerned with retrieving Sputnik Corporation property, i.e., the black box.
Perfect.
Yes, you definitely feel like you have a physical advantage over Dietrich. And he's a desk jockey, so how dangerous can he really be when he's not behind a suit of power armor?
I'm going to roll to figure someone out.
You can't just roll to figure somebody out. You got to do something to figure them out. Like, what does this look like? Tell me what's happening.
I've got the black box in one hand, and we are crossed swords right now, and we are sidestepping one another, while the rest of these Sputnik lickspittles are just a circle around us.
Oh no, they're fleeing. They're okay, on their way out.
I am just staring into Dietrich's eyes and just kind of trying to think of what I saw in the clusterfuck that happened of Dietrich diving on top of Ileana Sputnik to save her versus, I need to retrieve this black box, this man of duty, but seems to be thinking elsewhere.
That is perfect. Roll to figure someone out.
Cool. And that is
That's plus wit. Plus will. Wit, yes, I'm sorry. Wit. I'm blind right now.
What is this, world of darkness? Oh no, you hate to see it. That's a 4 on the dice, but because Dietrich has a string on me, instead of a -2, it's a -1. So that brings it down to a 3. So I gain experience and know nothing.
That is not true. Even when you fail, you get to ask a question.
That's true, because I have a wicked heart, because I'm a meanie, or at least I used to be.
Yeah.
What could I do to get you to betray your ideals? Still them deets. I'm waiting.
To betray my ideals, I would need to be shown indisputable proof that the Sputnik Corporation does not have the moon's future in their top of priorities.
Okay. And because I didn't do well, does he get to ask something of me?
No, that's a downbeat.
Okay.
And as a downbeat, you hear the roar of a rocket engine. Flying in an arc and crashing to the ground next to you in the superhero pose landing.
Oh, badass.
Ziliana Sputnik, leaving a trail of fire behind her. She is in a mesh bodysuit that looks to be made of some sort of space-age fiber. But the hands, feet, and joints are reinforced with pulsing metal accoutrement with veins of blue energy glowing within it. This all connects back to a missile-shaped backpack made of the same blue steel as the rest of her armor.
Is her armor the same size as all Sputnik, or is it more condensed in, like, similar to our own form-fitting suits?
It is very similar to your own form-fitting suits. You can hear the thrum of the nuclear reactor built into the back of her armor that is powering this device.
I'll admit now, Dane is smitten just because she went from I am behind a desk to I am not weak. I am going to armor up and I am going to kick ass and take names. So we will see what Dane does to act on that. But Dane is certainly going, oh,
Can I be double smitten?
Yes. You also can see the look in Dane's eyes as they look to Sputnik.
Because I am already smitten with Ilyana. Is it possible for me to become smitten once again?
Yes, I'll allow it. This is a big entrance scene.
I dig it. All right.
Dane, knowing that they are in danger, is going to try and run.
Well, Dane, first you have... no, we're not going to... we are going to resolve the Smith moves right now.
Uh-huh.
And that's because I think it's dramatically appropriate for this break in the action.
That's fair. Heartstring moves. Okay. There it is.
While you're looking for yours, do you have yours ready?
Well, I do have my Truths of Heart and Blade. My To Love and Lose. When you become smitten with someone, say why. Give them a string and answer a question.
What question is that?
Why would your romance never last? And as for why I have become smitten with her again, is that she has, in a single instance, proven her ability to back up everything I had ever heard about her, to take information we were barely able to understand and make a functional thing out of it in the short time I know she has had access to it. And to make such a badass entrance, this lady is great. But as for why our romance would never last, because I feel she may be too attached to the earth.
That is a very good answer and not one I was expecting. Dane.
Well, I am a foolish individual and realized, oh, it's on my character sheet. Ha ha ha. Undeserving. When you become smitten with someone, say why, give them a string, and answer the question. Why do you think they would be wrong to forgive you? I've already stated why I am smitten with Ileana. She fights for what she believes in and her ideals, and you see her being this intuitive mind, yet also stepping out into the field of conflict and just not taking shit. Just like, nope, I'm going to make things happen, hell or high water. Why they would be wrong to forgive me? Because I can't be forgiving. I have found a new path, and there is no way that I am turning back.
Ileana looks to the two of you. You'll need to return that to us, Hopkins. We made an agreement.
Then your people broke that agreement, as they always do. We have no guns. Your people do. That was chaos caused by Sputnik.
Sounds like you want to use a move there.
Who's the monster?
Yeah.
Sounds like the move I'm trying to use.
That does sound like the move you're trying to use.
When you expose the hypocrisy of someone who is supposedly virtuous, roll daring. Nope, I don't right now. Okay. Four and a 2 is a 6. My daring is a 2, so that gives me an 8. On a 7 and 9, choose one. The wrongness of their act is exposed to all. They mark XP if they change their mind. If they don't, they must attack you or take a condition. Your words sting. They take a condition. You impress an onlooker. Gain a string on them. Things are rough right now. I don't know. I'm gonna say my words sting and they take a condition. The condition that they take will be angry. Because I am denying her what she wants using logic and figuring out, like, yeah, we agreed on something, but there's nothing that we did to break that peace that we just brokered.
She looks at you through her visor. I suppose that is how we can look at things. But that is your choice. Dietrich. We have a trespasser. Would you please attend to it? Can't hear you, Gavin.
For a moment, I look at her to ensure that she is definitely talking about Dane and is not trying to subtly tell me to leave this to her.
No, she is. If you'd like to roll to figure her out as because that's exactly what this is. You're looking at her and trying to figure out what she means by this.
Oh man, low dice for days.
Ooh.
1 and a 3 is a 4. I'm still angry, so I've got a -2. And figure someone out is with wit, which I also have a 2 for. So I'm just looking at a good old-fashioned 4.
4 is not the worst, but you can still ask. No, you're not in a violent confrontation with her. So, yeah, you're not sure exactly what she means by that.
Are you clear of all your conditions?
No! No, I am on the clock. I can't just clear conditions willy-nilly like some terrorist in the woods.
Oh, sorry that we're a close-knit group of people who love one another and try to support each other through the battles we face.
That's overrated.
J'accuse.
So, how are you reacting to this order?
For a moment, I'm thinking that she's asking me to leave this to her, but if nothing else, then I need to do something here and hope I don't piss her off. And I guess I'm going to attempt to German suplex Dane Hopkins. I don't know what I'm doing.
Roll to fight.
Oh no! Okay. Well, a 2 and a 2 makes for a 4. I would say I'd have to be pretty daring to try and suplex somebody, so that sounds like it would be plus daring. I'm not frightened though, so I have no difficulties there, but I'm looking at a 5.
Is this the expanded fight moves, by the way, or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't think this is going to go into a full PvP situation right here. If it does, we will switch to those, but for now, let's keep things simple.
Okay.
But that is a awful failure.
Oh, you're telling me, bud.
So
do I get to pick something?
Dietrich. Roll to stagger.
Yeah, staggering sounds like an appropriate thing to have happen to me right now.
How do you respond, Dane, as he's rolling to Dietrich grabbing you and trying to suplex you, or trying to grab you and suplex you? What's your instinctive first response?
I take the black box and go to smack Dietrich in the face with it.
Okay.
Because the human skull is not stronger than this black box.
So, Dietrich.
I am going to hesitate and stumble because I am simultaneously trying to go for a complicated athletic maneuver while having on someone much more physically imposing than me, while having them attempt to crush a valuable piece of technology against my cranium. So I stumble in my steps, and an opportunity goes to the opposition.
Dietrich's at your feet, face down in the dirt. I'm sorry, no, sounds like face up. Like, he comes in, the box hits him in the face, and he just kind of scatters over backwards.
An almost impressive backflip.
Is okay. You have a laser sword, yes? You are prone on the ground. I am going to take this black box and smash it into that laser sword and destroy this thing. So at least my mission is fulfilled.
Down the box comes. And instinctively, I'm assuming Dietrich Steiner tries to block.
I don't think I would be able to recover enough and get my wits about me to try and disable the blade in time.
No, so down it comes, and there's a crackling, and sparks fly, and this black box shatters in your hand. No. Ileana's wrist gauntlets, like, what are they? Like, panels raise up in them, and blue energy starts pouring backwards, and she leaps forward with a rocket-assisted punch directly into you. Please stagger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what dice do I roll for a stagger?
Oh, no, you just pick off the list.
Oh, shite. Okay.
Two lists depending on how many conditions you've got.
Yeah, it is. Uh-huh. I have... Zeroed 3 conditions. Got it. Yikes. From the encounter that we had last session, Ileana's regard does matter to Dane. Not only that, Dane is also smitten with this person. So what Ileana feels like about Dane matters. So I'm going to lash out to provoke them to do something foolish or harmful and take advantage of a string on them if I have one. I have no strings on Ileana.
You are the stringless wonder.
Oh, I'm rocking 3 strings. One of them be my sister, Verdant, and then goons. So we're having a rough night. I take my sword in now both hands, and before Ileana can get to me, I swing as if I am going to knock that ball out of the park.
The blade hits and does nothing. There is a field of energy being generated by this suit that your human muscles can't penetrate. You call me a monster. When you destroy this world's hope at clean energy, when you try to kill my defenseless subordinates, she flies at you and swings again. Stagger. As a reminder, you're the one who decided that she should be angry.
This is true. Question: when I stagger, am I also taking a condition or no?
No.
No. Okay. Just bad things are happening to me. Got it.
Yes.
I'm going to grin and bear the blow. I'm going to mark 2 conditions. I'm going to be full up on conditions. What we stand for is more than your small little mindedness can ever actually hope to comprehend. So listen to me, Ileana, you weak-minded simpleton. The things that your father is doing are dangerous and monstrous. He has blocked you, and he has blocked Dietrich out from seeing the truth. Break your chains.
Sounds like you're trying to roll to do something here. But I'm not 100% sure what the right move is.
That's fair, because I don't either. I just said words at you.
You could argue that there's an attempt to entice.
Okay. I will attempt an entice maneuver.
Yeah, roll plus heart.
Oh. Fuck me. We're going in at a -1, peoples.
Yeah, entice.
Thank
When
you.
you appeal to someone's physical or emotional sensibilities.
Yeah, you
Dietrich,
fell for it.
thank you for being here, Dietrich, and having some strings on me. You're making this a lot better for me. Come on, boxcars. Come on. That's a 4 and a 2, so that's a 6. I have a heart of 0, so that's a 5. Mark experience. Woo. Flip.
She extends her left arm towards you, and her palm begins to glow with blue energy.
Iron Man blast to my face.
The resulting blast blows a half-mile streak through the countryside. We are cutting back to the other folks. The game has finished. If one of you would be so kind as to roll to entice. And this is going to determine how well the game went and how willing she is to talk to you.
I will do it. I will have spent the game trash talking the ref and complaining about the obvious cheating that the Yankees are doing, and otherwise displaying my tremendous knowledge of American baseball.
Yeah. The most verdant of sports.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to use talk nerdy to me to use wit instead of heart to
Yeah.
entice. That's a 6. Plus 2 wit is an 8.
So, you've been patient, kid. We won the game. What are you looking for?
I would really like to get your help rescuing a friend of mine. It's this one's it's her sibling. I told you about Dane. Remember Dane?
The big one with the robot?
Yeah.
You there? I need some of your blood. No, not you. The big one. It's your sister. You're their sister, right? We're looking for. I need you. And she points to you, Kayla. Give me a Dunkachino.
Get some
And
coffee, girl. Okay.
I'd just like to point out that this Dunkin' doesn't have normal sized cups. The smallest size they have is like a gallon cup, and then it goes up from there.
That's the only sizes you need. What else?
Yeah. So, yeah, this one's gonna be kind of tricky. Not often I gotta pull someone through time.
What?
And there's a blue flash of light. And Dane is lying on the floor. Naked. Scorched. Unconscious.
Despite all my talk about stuff, I don't actually know anything about like medical sort of deal. But I'm gonna try my best to like make sure Dane's okay.
With a little bit of prodding, you can get Dane to come too.
Excellent. So it's better when everyone comes too.
You're awake, Dane.
I'm also going to
come
shove
too.
That Dunkachino to Monty, and I'm gonna go over and kneel near Dane. I'm going to attempt to use lay on hands.
Ooh, what's that do?
So when you touch someone as part of emotional support, you heal their physical ailments, tell them how your devotion sustains you, and they mark an XP if they validate your devotion.
So, to do it, you got to do it.
Yep. So Kayla's gonna kneel next to Dane and obviously very distraught to see her friend in this state. Dane, I'm glad to see you. And she's going to give them a hug, and you'll be okay. And she places her hands, and we won't let Sputnik get away with this. We'll get them. Not just for the good of everyone, but this is wrong. And lays her hands on his shoulder and try to send some healing energy. I'm rolling for emotional support. So I rolled a 5. And that's plus heart, which is 0. I will spend a string, however,
Okay.
on Dane, which makes it a plus 3, which is a 8.
So, what condition are you? Well, first you have to, open up, and then you can get yourself your condition cleared.
I need to open up?
Yeah, that's how emotional support works. You can't
Okay.
just have somebody pat you on the back and say, "Yeah, boss." You got to reciprocate, or at least acknowledge that
I come to being completely in just the thought mindset of I am dead. I have at least achieved the goal, and I am going to be one with the earth, and I am gone. And the first thing that I open my eyes to is the first individual that I have been smitten with since I broke the heart of my childhood lover when I went boots to ground in our hometown and wreaked havoc. I reach my hands up and I deeply kiss Kayla, and when I am done, lay back down and say, just very softly, exhausted, mission success, and fall back down.
with that, we're going to take a look inside of the Sputnik base. Ileana has changed out of her armor. There are several assistants going over her with various meters and readings, and they're testing how much radiation she absorbed from this and how dangerous it was jumping into this suit.
I, for my part, am waiting in well, I suppose it is just a waiting room outside of the lab testing area where those examinations are being made. I had submitted my uniform that I had been wearing when the black box was destroyed directly above me for any potential chance of there being a trace element of it that could be restored. And so I am in probably the most casual attire. I only have on Sputnik issue slippers with very loose-fitting dark gray slacks and a very, very tight undershirt that I had on. Jet black, form-fitting.
By the time Ileana leaves and comes into the waiting room, she has changed into a plush, fluffy white robe. I am sorry, Dietrich, that I have lost my cool out there.
No. If anyone is to have fault, it is I rushed them. They took that as an opening and They used my weapon to destroy it. It's my fault.
I think we have all made mistakes, and we will all have to live with the consequences of them.
There's a solid moment of silence before with my eyes starting to water up, I ask, am I good enough?
Steiner, I do not know if I am good enough. All we can do is our best. The world is counting on us. The people are counting on us. Today was a hard loss. But we always have tomorrow. And as the two of you leave the waiting room, and she turns off the light behind you, we see a very faint blue glow from her hand. And that's bringing us to the end of tonight's session. We have our end of session move, which I have in here somewhere.
Oh, before that, just a little bit of bookkeeping about my part with all this. The friends in weird places move. I ask the friend for help. The GM says what help they provide, and they get a string on me, and I have to mark down that I owe them a favor. And then at some point in the future, they call that favor in, and if I help them, I get to clear the marked favor, and if I don't help them, I gain a condition.
Sounds good. Now, end of session. The fun discussion where we all see how much bonus XP we can wrangle out of me. First question. Did any PC confess their love?
I told Kayla that I was interested in Helga and thinking about her.
That's not quite there, I don't think. You gotta... I'm interested in somebody isn't the same thing as confession of love.
Like,
how about when Dane laid on the big smoochie on Kayla?
I think we could call that.
I mean, there's also Dane communing for the first time with Gaia.
You know what? I think that is a really interesting one too. That is a great one there. Yeah. So everybody's going to gain an experience point, except for me, who's going to trip over my words.
You wouldn't be the first.
Yeah. So, did any PC strike a blow against oppression or de-escalate a violent situation?
Down with oppression, man.
Yeah, I guess blowing up the black box gets that. So
I
another
almost got
XP
nuked
for everybody.
to the face.
Yeah. Did
I
any
probably glow in the night.
Did any PC leap into danger with daring and panache?
I mean, Dietrich tried.
Yeah,
it's not his fault the dice went against him.
I'll definitely give it to you, Dietrich. And did any player use safety tools such as the pallet or check-in card? I'm going to give you this one because of a conversation Gavin and I had earlier this week, where the check-in card and its results and its stuff was brought up. So that's a ton of XP for everybody for the end of session. I think everybody levels from this.
My
I
second level
leveled
tonight.
+1. Same, Gavin. Yeah. We were terrible tonight.
Oh, awful! Just the worst.
Do we have an idea of what moves we're taking?
I
do.
Does it have to be in order that it is on the sheet or no?
No.
Perfect.
You can pick anything off of the...
I think the only rules are for the bottom two, which are italicized, as those require an emotional conflict at the core of the playbook to be resolved, or eclipsed by something else.
So,
okay.
I am taking a move from another playbook. I am taking the chosen move, Help Me. You're a magnet for trouble and hunted by those who would use you for their own purposes. Others mark XP when they defy disaster that would otherwise befall you. In addition, whenever you're captured, your captor reveals something they hope to achieve. Gain a string on them and mark XP.
Okay, so it is explicitly good to capture you.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
For my part, I am taking another scoundrel move, so I'm getting both of my moves from my playbook in the same session out tonight.
Ooh.
I'm going to take Better to Seek Forgiveness. When you apologize to someone for your outrageous conduct and put yourself at their mercy, roll plus daring. On a 10+, you find out what it will take for them to forgive you, and you each gain a string on the other. If they forgive you, you each clear a condition. And on a 7 to 9, you find out what it will take for them to forgive you. If you do it, you either take strings on each other, or they may clear a condition. Your choice.
Okay, Kayla.
I am going to add 1 to a stat. I'm adding it to daring, so my daring is now +3.
Wow, that's a whole lot of daring.
Yeah. Tank.
And Dane.
I am also going to add 1 to a stat. I was back and forth between daring, but you know what? Kayla beat me to it. So I, after reaching out with my new move, am going to add it to Spirit, changing that from a 2 to a 3.
Ooh, that's one heck of an upgrade. That is awesome. And with that, do we have anything else before we call it for the evening?
This was a very emotional sort of come down from last week's action. I especially appreciated the scene between Dane and Dietrich. Both of you were very roleplay focused and very heavily into it. And it really made me feel like I was there in the scene, watching along. And when Ileana unleashed her blast, I was just like, I was also blown away. So I really appreciate everybody.
I feel like
Rich and Gavin tonight.
I feel like I got to miss out on Verdant actually opening up to the group of, this is where my background is, and this is where I come from, and these are the people that I know. Because Verdant has pressed, though not like streamed, but through stuff that we've discussed on episode 1, Dane for knowledge about Sputnik to be able to best combat Sputnik. And Dane was not there to see the reverse of. So what's this? Is this where you get your power from? Who are these people? And things like that. So I am so glad to be alive still, but have missed out on this opportunity to learn more about Verdant, who has been spooky and mysterious.
I was very impressed with how useless a lesbian Verdant was. No, it's a trope for a reason.
Yeah, I mean,
like, why did you drag me into this supernatural demon hole? I can't tell you that I think you're cute, so I got to make up excuses. I feel like that was the whole thing behind that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Verdant was definitely much more focused on Helga than on Dane.
Yeah, and just, let's go somewhere that no one can interrupt us.
Even if that place where no one can interrupt you happens to be the house of some kind of other thing, proper noun other. Which, by the way, I hope it's going to continue to be a recurring presence because I need that Boston accent in my life.
Fuck off, kid.
Yeah, I could think of nothing more Boston than threatening your life if you interrupt the Red Sox game.
Yeah. And
Pats too.
Since she's a ridiculous tentacle monster, it's not just an idle threat.
No. Yeah, sorry to spring Sputnik on you in full combat mode. I wasn't expecting you to pick angry there. I was like, oh, Danny's going to put in something that's going to help the roleplay roll forward, and you're going to, like, I don't know, make her feel like guilty or something, and you're like, no, let's have her start swinging.
Well, I was like, I don't want her to figure me out any more than I already have. So yeah, angry works. And then I'm like, oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Just a reminder. Remember when you folks in the first episode fought those nameless goons?
Yes.
And you were just taking them out by the buckets?
Mm-hmm.
This was what it was like to be on the other side of that.
What?
Because she is in her high tier power armor, and you're sitting there with a sword.
Mm-hmm. Magic save me.
So in a sense, yes, she did no longer care to figure you out.
And I'm not sure if you picked up the specifics, but Sputnik did kill you there.
Oh, yeah. No. Time and space. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you remember all of it.
I think I'm too tired right now to remember all of it, but oh yes, I will. I certainly will.
With that, I want to thank both of our listeners for watching. And
there's like 6 people watching.
Well, and live?
Hey, the thing says there's 7 people in the chat.
Well, I love all 7 of you. I
know at least one of them.
Well, I really appreciate you tuning in, and you can catch our back episodes on YouTube. You can catch our other show, Expeditions of the Extra Normal, on podcast apps everywhere. And we have a couple new shows in the works. We're going to have something angsty teen monster supernatural drama at some point, and we've got a superhero show in the works too. So we really appreciate you. Thank you, and have yourselves a good evening.
Love you guys.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Goodbye and good night.